Join us this week as we tackle a couple of upgrades, one really big repair,
and I'm going to have Angela tell me when the slide is all the way in
before we hit the road again. It's an understatement to say that we're excited to fix this one for free. Pro tip, find friends so that when your husband wants you to help, you have somewhere to go. Or get him some friends. We say goodbye to our boat for the winter and spend as much time as possible with the kids and baby Cody. Thanks to the sponsor of this video, eTrailer. Got an early start this morning. Big day today.
We got up early. We got 563 miles to ride. We're leaving Illinois, and where are we headed? Straight to Arkansas because it's truck camper time. And we got to do some things to get it ready. We got to get the reflection ready to go, and we got to do some more stuff to the truck to get it ready to go. But one of the best parts about coming to Illinois is we get to see the kids and grandbaby Cody, which is always great. We got a lot of time with them this week, which we really appreciate. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Look at it, little shirt. Huh, big guy? Look at you.
Here's my boy. That's my grandbaby.
Get up, get on there. Drive that boat. Drive that boat.
If this week's videos look a little bit better, it's because he edited them.
And as always, Isaac is kind of our postmaster general, and he had a very important package waiting on his porch for us when we got there. Hello everybody from Illinois. You guys that have been following us for a little while know that we have a permanent lease spot in Illinois close to our son and close to that grandbaby. And we like to come in here to visit, but we also like to come in here to get work done. And while this isn't really work, I did get a new toy and I just wanted to show it to you guys. Here a while back, we got bigger bikes to change how we ride and the places we can go and just overall boost our level of comfort. New bikes are great. Our old bike rack didn't work so well with the new bikes because we have fat tires and the tires would not fit here. The bars didn't really work well. And to be honest, these new bikes are kind of heavy at 64 pounds and it was getting to be a little bit of a pain lifting them up there. So we got with eTrailer.com and we got us a new bike rack. Finding a bike rack is kind of challenging. When we got our bike rack for our first e-bikes, we really didn't know what to do. We just went to a bike shop and said, set us up. And they set us up with a Swagman bike rack, and it has worked great. A lot of you guys out there are a lot more versed than we are in bike racks, but one of the biggest suggestions that kept coming back and coming back and coming back was Hollywood racks. Now, I have to give a disclaimer here. This bike is not technically rated to be hauled on the back of an RV. I can't tell you why. Everything looks built just as good as my Swagman. The components are heavy. The rack itself, while not too heavy to move, seems to be very well built. But I've talked to individuals who run this on the back of their RV without trouble, and I decided to roll the dice for just one reason. And that right there is the reason why I chose this bike rack. So we're gonna give this a shot. We're gonna keep you posted. If you're interested in Hollywood racks, they do have a rack called the RV Rider that is specifically, purposefully built to be towed behind an RV. However, it doesn't have a ramp option. So we went with this one, and I'll keep you guys posted on how it works out.
He's a grandpa now. He can't go pulling his back out.
I pull my back out anyway.
I need him.
Something I really like about this rack is this tensioning system for the hitch itself. You put your pin through and you tighten it up, and that takes all the shake. And of course they give you a little locking pin so that you don't get your rack stolen.
And our cover situation with our cheapo bike cover and cargo net is working out beautifully. And from your messages, I can tell that it's working out beautifully for some of you too. We stole that from a friend. That was not our idea, but I'm glad we did it.
So if you're in the market for a bike rack, check out eTrailer.com. They have about every brand known to man. And if you have really specific questions, jump in the chat. I asked a lot of questions. They did let me know this is not an RV approved rack. I went with it anyway.
And one other problem that we had with the new bikes is they covered up our taillights. I find those to be somewhat important.
So I picked up some of these Kurt auxiliary lights for about $30. This is a really nice setup. Left and right, they go on with 3M tape, and they just plug right into your standard trailer connection, assuming you already have one of those on the back of your RV. And if you have a hitch on the back of your RV, odds are you got a 4-prong plug.
Now, what do you do with all this goodness?
I got an idea.
Zip ties?
I did get this nifty little gun from Jared over at our next adventure. I think he did it as a joke, but it's kind of cool. So you put your zip tie in there, it pulls it tight, and when it's tight enough, it cuts it off. Sweetness.
Ooh, a good stretch. Hang on, Eris, hang on. Okay. How's our slide looking over there?
Perfect. It's all the way in. It has not moved. Everything worked great when we pulled it in this morning. Quiet, no weird noises. I think we're good, but when I see it go out in Arkansas by itself without me having to crawl under the trailer, I'll feel really good about our repair.
You saw in the last video, we had a surprise during 2 very long travel days with this slide out. We weren't sure we were going to be able to get it done. It was kind of a point of anxiety, and Cody did great.
One thing I noticed when I got under here is that this, what I was calling a brass bell, because it was the best name I had for it, it's actually called a stop cup. The adjustment nut had backed off. So we know that's why the slide's not going all the way in. We should be able to pull it in tight, and the way I'm doing that is putting my crescent wrench on this bar, rotating it, and you can see now the stop cap is against the frame of the trailer. And I'm gonna have Angela tell me when the slide is all the way in. And now that it's snug with the trailer frame, this is what tells it to stop. So it won't go in any farther than this. You can set it to go in farther than this and you'll tear something up. So now that we know we have it where we like it, we're just gonna tighten it down. Now the slide's all the way in, the seals are compressed, so we got our slide adjustment out of the way. Once we figure out why this whole thing isn't moving properly, the adjustment's at least out of the way. And if we need to go down the road, because we're not staying here very long, leaving in a couple of days, I at least don't have to worry about it. Now it would be really interesting to see if it'll go out, now that I've made my adjustment. I've had issues getting this slide to come out, and sometimes just a little crank on our override bar, which is supposed to come out right here, just 1 or 2 turns will get everything moving. So you might be wondering, where's our override bolt? Well, it wasn't connected from the factory, 1. 2, the bar that was supposed to be connected that was laying in the underbelly that's held on with the cotter pin is too short to come out. So anytime I have to manually push these slides a little bit, I just get in the underbelly. So this is the slide motor. This is the override bar that was not connected from the factory. And you can see where I've had to get in here with channel locks and grind on it before to get it to do anything. That doesn't seem like it should do that, right? And we know the actuator bar is moving. We know we have power to the motor itself. So my next thought is that the motor itself could be bad, or you've got a gear pack in top of here that could be bad. And I know this tire has probably caught a lot of your eye. It's up, it's secure. We have our little block bracket here with the cotter pin to keep it from coming down so it can't move. The reason it's bulging down like this is we added a ton of insulation in here when we replaced the valve for our back sink tank. And it's not factory and it's not pretty. And that's kind of why it looks like that. I mean, obviously we got some wiring here we got to undo, but there's just a bolt right here on the side and a bolt in the identical spot on the other side, similar to changing a landing gear motor on a 5th wheel is how it looks. This is our motor, got our part numbers on it. The gear pack is inside of here. And these motors are really, really expensive. And all the gears look good to me. Nothing stripped, nothing broken. It seems like everything should be functioning properly. The thing runs when we hit the button. So I'm still doing some diagnostic before I order a very expensive slide motor, because by all appearances it should be working. However, I decided to try and see if I could move the slide out a little bit, and I was able to pop it out quite a lot. Whereas earlier when I was working on it, I could get it out about 1 inch and then it wouldn't budge. Now that I have the motor out of the way, it seems like it's sliding okay manually. So I'm gonna go ahead and crawl under here and try to push this slide out by hand, crank it out by hand rather, so we can at least live and work comfortably until I can get a better feel of what's going on with this thing. Okay, I think I have the problem. And I was about to order some really expensive parts until I got in there and started looking at things a little closer. So for one, I believe our slide motor's good. It's running, it has power to it, the gear pack looks great, nothing out of the ordinary there. My next thought was maybe it's the actuator, which is what the motor hooks to, that pushes and pulls the slide in and out. After getting there and looking around a little bit more, we have a bracket that's bent, and this bracket is where the actuator rides. I made another call to my buddy Josh and sent some pictures, and he told me that that actuator actually has 2 dimples that stick out that go into that bracket that hold it straight. Right now when I spin, the bar spins and doesn't make contact with the bracket. I'm not sure what caused that to get bent, and he really didn't have a good idea on it either, unless it got jammed somehow, some way, and just popped out. So we're going to try to straighten that bracket, put everything back together, cross our fingers. This doesn't cost us a dime.
Does it involve hitting it?
If at first you don't succeed, get a bigger hammer.
Do you need help?
Honey, I'm not sure this is a great job for you.
I just need to not smash my fingers and everything will be all right.
I'm going to stand way back. Let's try something else. Let's try this. We'll lay this right here and we'll let the hammer work against the ground.
This would be an appropriate time to say that we are not professionals.
Correct.
Rednecks will find a way, and this is not a how-to.
And I'll also say that you can buy these brackets. I looked it up. Lippert has them on their website, readily available. I could have one here just in time for me to leave. So I'm hoping that I can fix these. It's not that they're expensive, they're like 20 bucks, but you know how it is. You don't want to wait till Friday to fix the problem. You want to fix it on Monday, right? So let's fix it Monday.
Take your anger out on it. Yeah. Show it who's boss. Getting better.
Getting better.
You think that weakens it at all?
Probably. And it ain't close enough yet. Well, I guess the thing to do now is to go ahead and pull that actuator rod out, because one, we have to make sure that the dimples that go in here are still on there. And judging by the little bit of raking right here where the paint's scraped off, I'm wondering if it didn't break those little divots off, and this is all for naught anyway, and we may need an actuator bar. So before I go too nuts doing this, better see if we got to order another part first. This is the actuator assembly. It works similarly to how your landing gear works on your fifth wheel on the front. Motor on the top, worm gear inside, motor goes out, pushes the ram out, pushes your slide out. Everything seems to be working, it's just not grabbing. So when you run that screw gear out, this is what it looks like in slow time. As the motor cranks, this is what stretches everything out. So maybe I can work it in here and see if those divots are still there before I remove this whole thing, because that was going to be my next plan, would be to take the whole thing out and inspect it. So there it is spinning. And the reason I'm having Angela do the spinning from the other side, why I watch from this side, is because as you see, you've got water lines, electrical lines, there's some ducting for the heater back there. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I need to be able to watch it and make sure we're not going to do more damage while we're trying to fix the damage that's there. The dimples are still there.
They are?
They're still there.
Oh, good.
Nice.
How do we get,
Quit playing in the rocks.
how do we get grease on that?
Probably when I was greasing the wet bolts, I had to wipe it somewhere. Don't give me that look.
They're so messy.
You start greasing wet bolts.
Mine will be clean.
You know why they'd be clean? Because you'd come out here and make noise where I could hear you crawling around in the gravel, nothing would get greased and there would be no mess. And I'd sit here and wonder, like, why doesn't the grease gun ever run out of grease? Why doesn't she ever order grease?
Pro tip, find friends so that when your husband wants you to help, you have somewhere to go. Or get him some friends.
But it's more fun to do it yourself, Ange.
Loads of fun.
Screwing it to the wood did a pretty darn good job. Albeit a little wonky, just a little wonky, but I think it's gonna work. Believe it or not, the little dimples lined up just like they should. I can kind of grab it by hand and I can't budge it. I can't get it to wiggle. I can't get it to rattle. So I'm content that that bracket's fine. And to change these motors, it's really not a big deal. You have this, what I call a key right here off this shaft. Just looks like a little T, and there's a little T on the actuator. We're just going to put it on there and rotate it until it locks in, and hopefully this slide will move on its own.
Fingers crossed. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. That's reversed.
It's reversed?
Yeah.
I wonder what caused that. All right, back out.
Oh.
Still doing that, huh?
Once you get this figured out, you get rewarded because the kids are on their way. Yay!
So they're not gonna come if I don't fix it?
Right.
Okay.
I'll call them off. Yay! And you thought I just married you for your money.
Well, you didn't marry well if that's the case, because when we met, I had negative money. But I reckon I can get a little food on the table and fix the slide out from time to time. But this just kind of goes right back into what we said. It's a no fear attitude. When we're on the road, our goal is uptime. If we're in a shop or we're even waiting on parts or waiting on a repair to get done, we're not rolling. We're not having adventures, and we want to make the most of our time out here. And I know it seems like I probably work on things a lot, but doing these little things like this and spending a few hours tinkering might save you a lot of time at the shop, might save you a lot of money. This whole thing didn't cost me a dime other than time. But if it happens again, we'll order new brackets, we'll live and learn, but use your community, use your resources.
We've only been on the road for an hour, but we had to make a quick stop for a couple reasons.
We've drove by here so many times. This is right outside of Vandalia, Illinois, and they have the littlest St. Louis arch ever. And we've never stopped here. We've been coming down this way for a decade. We've never stopped. So we thought, we'll check this out real quick. And since it's our first trip with the new bike rack, I just wanted to stop and look everything over. It's new. We just put it together so things can come out of adjustments. I just want to make sure everything's nice and tight. Wheel straps are good. There's all this room in between. Yeah, this is great. I mean, I still put the rags up by the handlebars just to keep these crossbars from bumping. Yeah, this thing is great.
We did another big thing while we were down here that Cody's been fretting about for a really long time.
Yeah.
Tires.
Yeah.
It happened.
Don't they look good? The time has come. Remember a few weeks back we took our truck in for an oil change and they called out something I already knew, and that is that our steer tires were shot. Since we're here in Illinois, we have a couple down days to get some work done. Today is the day we are getting new tires. Nobody likes spending $2,100 on 6 new tires, and I did get 6 tires. I originally thought that I might just put 2 new Nexans on the front, run these back ones out, but those Nexans are so bad in terms of grip, even just like dry dirt, not even mud or sand, they're just garbage. I kind of needed something that's going to hook up and grip a little better. And for the first time in 10 years, I put tires on a truck that weren't Michelin's. I didn't go with discount tire this time. There's not one in the area. I had a local recommendation of Bell Tire. So I ordered the tires and prepaid for them last week. We had an appointment for 1:30 on Tuesday. No communication, no nothing. I called to confirm my own appointment. They had forgot to order the tires. Come back at 3:30 this afternoon, call them again. They didn't order my tires. So we finally came in on our third appointment and the tires were actually here. And after we sat there for about 2 hours, they broke a valve stem and a TPMS sensor, so they had to make a run down to the Ram dealer and get a new one and reprogram everything. So nearly 4 hours later, and we have a brand new set of BF Goodrich KO3s.
And why do you need such an aggressive tire?
Because as much as I like to go to campgrounds that are easy to get to, easy to get in and out of, and on nice hard packed ground, or a paved site that keeps all my stuff nice and clean, you just love putting me in difficult and filthy situations. And since we're about to go on the truck camper excursion, I have a feeling you're going to put me in sand or mud or both. And I didn't want to get stuck.
I feel attacked.
I've had a lot of recommendations for this tire. Actually, my good pal Joe over at Open Roading is running these on his Silverado right now, and he's a big fan of them. And they like to go to places that are off the beaten path on a regular basis too. So I figured if it's good for them, it's going to be good for us.
It's an understatement to say that I'm very happy that this is done as well.
Had to take some pictures of them to send to my friends. Now, if it were up to me, I would load this truck heavy, I'd load it long, and it'd be a pavement princess. But I know, I've already seen, you're not gonna let my truck be a pavement princess.
I like a challenge.
Who's gonna be the first one to curb them?
Oh, I'll do the honors on that one.
And of course, before we took out on travel day, always the last thing we do is tires, lights, and tug test. We gave a little extra attention to our new truck tires because when we had them put on, it was about 80 degrees and it was 55 this morning, so we had to make some air pressure adjustments. And of course, we retorqued those lug nuts after we drive about 100 miles just to make sure everything's snug.
Are you happy, girl? We are in Arkansas. It's time to get busy.
Between our travel day to get to Illinois out of Connecticut and our travel day to get here to Arkansas, it's a grand total of almost 1,700 miles. We just did 563 miles today, and we're gonna do something we haven't done in a long time, and that's stay in one spot, this spot, for 2 full weeks because we have a lot to do. We've already started doing some stuff to the truck to get ready for the big truck camper adventure. We took care of our tires. And one of the saddest things I have to do every fall is winterize the boat because by the time we get back to Illinois, it's gonna be December to see the grandbaby for Christmas. And needless to say, I don't want my boat motor to freeze up and blow. And even though we didn't get to use it that much this year, it's a 2017, it's paid for. And honestly, it's cheaper to keep her and it's totally worth it to me for the 2 or 3, 4 times a year I get to take it out. But we still try to take really good care of her because she's in great shape and she's been good to us. And so we're gonna do a little winterization here. It is a jet boat. People will tell you you don't have to winterize them. I always run some antifreeze through the engine because it makes me feel better. If this looks familiar, it should. This is actually an RV winterization kit from Camco. We just picked it up at Walmart. You would just put this right into the freshwater port in your RV, open up one faucet valve at a time, and just pump the antifreeze through the system. It works great, but I have a little adapter for my flush port on the engine for my boat, so it makes it really easy for me to winterize the boat.
We used to spend a lot of money on those damp rid buckets. We would put them in the boat. Then our friends started doing charcoal. And we were like, what? Yep, every year. Keeps the sucks the moisture out. Now they don't use them for that.
No, you don't want to cook with them.
You don't want to cook with them after that, but it sucks all the moisture out, keeps everything smelling fresh. So the last couple of years we've tried it. Great idea. Good job, Charlie. Is they cover up our, what are these called?
Tail lights. And that, oh, sorry, just a few more feet. You probably have a solid foot to come.
Where's the camera?
I don't know, probably on the other side, remember?
I probably carried it inside. You carried it inside.
Seriously, how do we lose a camera? It's under the trailer.
It's still recording. Oh, good. Check it off the list. Oh, B. Oh, don't go in there. It's like that meme of the woman sleeping, and she's like, I wonder if he's thinking about other women, and he's over there going, I wonder if I should do KO2s or Michelins this time.
These are KO3s.
Whatever.
But I know my least favorite thing about being on the road full time is that it kind of cuts into my boat time.
You want to say a but for that?
But through your
Charcoal briquette.